Hello, my name is James Myshock. I'm Battalion Chief of City of Hemet Fire Department. I am here currently in my office, and this is my Unit 8 project, which is my 3-minute video for community risk reduction. Here in the City of Hemet, we do not have a fire prevention program. We don't have a fire prevention department or division. We contract out for all of our building inspections. I have a little bit angst of calling our fire marshal because they're a private corporation, and she basically does fire inspections and inspections of commercial properties. So our fire prevention program here in the City of Hemet is very much lacking. What we've recently done though is we have contracted with a company called ESCI. And what ESCI did is they provided this document right here, which is our Community Risk Assessment and Standards of Coverage document. So they did an analysis of our city and filed a report, and in this report it outlines what our community risk is and how we can mitigate it and what the dollar cost would be according to that. So what I want to talk about here in the City of Hemet is our lower economic class. In the City of Hemet, we have 1 out of 4 people that live under the poverty level. And that causes a lot of issues. We have a very high call volume here in the City of Hemet, both EMS and fire. And a lot of this is due to the lower economic class and dealing with the problems that they have. And where I came from with the City of Scottsdale, very much not a lower economic class. So it's very different, and there's a lot of different issues that come from it. In just a little bit, I'm going to take you out and show you some of the areas that are some of our problems, our problem areas that cause concern for us. So in 2016, the City of Hemet had 322 reported fires. So if you take that at the average, that's almost a fire per day. There are times where we're running multiple fires per day. It's a very busy fire department. Our fire loss in 2016 was $2.1 million. And for a city our size, which we have a population of about 86,000 people, that's quite a bit of a fire loss. Compared to the national average, comparing similar cities, our civilian death rate is 11.8 per year, where the national average is 8.6. So we have quite a higher death rate here in the City of Hemet due to fire and civilian loss due to fire, which is one of our biggest challenges here, is how to make the city and the citizens in the city safer and decrease that civilian death rate and civilian injury rate. So this is what I'm going to concentrate on today. We don't necessarily have any type of programs, if you were, to try and reduce this rate. Like I said, with a lower economic class, our budget is also much lower than others, and a lot of things in our budget need to be prioritized. At this moment, the fire chief seems to not put too much of an emphasis on the prevention side of the fire service. Everything we do here is reactionary, which a lot of fire departments is. However, that definitely increases our call volume. It increases the amount of fires we run. It increases our fire loss, our civilian injury rate, and our civilian death rate. So instituting a very aggressive, strong prevention program here in the City of Hemet, I think would be very beneficial, and hopefully this document that was presented to us by ESCI with our community risk reduction plan is a start in the right direction. So from this point, I'm going to take you out and I'm going to show you some areas, some of our problem areas, a lot of our board ups, and we'll go from there. Okay, it's a little bit difficult to see, but right here is an example of one of our board ups. We have these board up houses all over the city. And what happens from this is the homeless and the drug addicts will get inside these board ups, they'll break in, they'll set up their camps, and eventually they'll light them on fire. And the reason why they light them on fire is because when they're done with it, they don't want any evidence or anybody going in there marking anything towards them or anything that happened in there. So they'll light it on fire. Over here to the right, again, will be difficult to see, but this is Weston Park, and right over where you see those people walking is the restrooms, and they'll set up camp over there. During the day, there'll probably be 15 to 20 people over there, just hanging out, setting up their camps, doing whatever they do. But this is pretty much where they hang out over here. From this point, we're gonna go see another area, and we'll head that way now. Now, this area over here is very interesting. This area where you see all these apartments has been nicknamed Sketch Alley. And Sketch Alley is an interesting place. It's quiet right now because it's 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning. But the fire department is not allowed to go down Sketch Alley without a police escort. It's just been deemed one of those areas that's too dangerous for us to go in. And when we do go in there, it's required by policy that we wear our bulletproof vests when we go in there. This is a very dangerous place, and when people are out, there's a lot of drugs, a lot of violence, guns, stuff like that. So that is Sketch Alley, and now we'll move on to the next place. Okay, now this is the last place I'm going to show you. This place here is quite interesting, and I'll try and include some pictures, but this structure, this board up structure, has actually been lit on fire 3 times. We've responded here 3 times for a structure fire, and you can kind of see a little shopping cart with some stuff over there. Looks like somebody has moved back into this board up. But we've responded here 3 times for this structure being on fire. You can kind of tell over here where the fire has gone through the roof. We just continue to respond to this location. They've not torn it down. And you might ask, why don't we just let it burn when we get here, since we've responded here so many times for fires? Well, the easy answer to that is life safety. We cannot assume with these board ups that they are vacant and empty. So when we respond here, we have to treat it as though it's a livable structure and people are living there, and we have to fight fire aggressively, and we cannot just let them burn to the ground and assume that nobody is in there. So I will continue and add some pictures of this structure that was on fire the last time I responded here. And that's just a little bit of what the city of Hemet has to offer, and how the lower economic class of citizens that live here affect our community risk and the risks that are involved. So thank you very much.